as we continue to track this powerful major hurricane Laura. Now, I believe it or not, a Category 4 hurricane as of the latest National Hurricane Center update. Let me reload here to see if we have the latest. The latest from the National Hurricane Center, still 145 miles per hour as of the new advisory. This is just a position update according to the National Hurricane Center there. No strengthening has happened in the last hour. Winds remains at 145 millibars, still at 947 millibars, moving northwest at 15 miles per hour. This is your last moment to evacuate. It's even too late now to evacuate. We already have more than 6,000 power outages in the state of Louisiana as the storm approaches, and it is now too late to evacuate. Here's the current wind, and as you can see, Louisiana is already getting those tropical storm force winds, which is why it is already too late to evacuate, as this will push in Louisiana later in the next 9 to 10 hours. National Hurricane Center went ahead and said that there will be unsurvivable storm surge, meaning you will not be able to survive this. Storm surge at peak expected 15 to 20 feet near Calcio Lake, all the way into Freeport, 2 to 4 feet, and all the way into Lake Port de Champagne, 1 to 3 feet there. But the worst will be near Calcio Lake with 15 to 20 feet. The rainfall expected there up to 10 feet as well there, or inches, up to 10 inches, which once again is absolutely insane. Flash flood potential 50%, that's the highest possible, so flash flood potential is also very high there on that list as this approaches. Here's the latest IR loop, and you can see how well this storm looks at the moment. Definitely looks like a strong Category 4 hurricane, and believe it or not, it is 10 miles away from being a Category 5 hurricane and could intensify to a Category 5 hurricane. National Hurricane Center expects it to only intensify 5 miles more per hour in the next 9 to 10 hours before landfall. I honestly expect this to be a Category 5. But you can see it's been moving, pretty much in this direction here. On the latest satellite imagery, there's been a little bit of a jog to the north, and if that continues, maybe we'll see it turn a little bit more to the north than expected. But you can see that convection outer band is really, really getting into Louisiana now, and even into some parts of Texas, reaching out all the way into Tennessee there. And you can see that very well formed eye here on the latest frames, with a lot of convection here, especially on the southern side here. Keep in mind the strongest side of the system at the moment is the eastern time right here. This is where they found those close to Category 5 winds when we did get a recon pass in there. Here's a look at the visible satellite imagery, and once again, very similar situation there. You can see that band to the south there extending out, and you can really see that band to the north there. And it is already a strong Category 4 hurricane, and it still has this much time to become a Category 5. And at this point, if the trend continues, we could be dealing with a Category 5 landfall, and this will be history because this will be one of the strongest hurricane to make landfall in this area. And right now it looks like a Louisiana landfall seems to be a little bit more likely than a Texas landfall, but we're gonna have to see how much it makes that turn to the north there. So really, this is going to be absolutely a devastating storm, and it is now officially too late to evacuate. Even the governor of Louisiana, Texas, have said that this will be catastrophic. Even the sheriff said one city will be completely submerged. Imagine, you get a wall of 20 feet here moving into a city. That will submerge an entire city. This is how dangerous this situation is. The governor, I'm pretty sure, or the sheriff went ahead and say they will not be able to do any rescue mission until the storm surge has lasted. And the National Hurricane Center said the storm surge could last for up to 3 days. And this is what they said: if you're decided to ride out the storm, they said to put all your information in a Ziploc in your pocket in case they were not able to, rescue you properly. So really, that is something very sad to hear from them. Here's the latest National Hurricane Center track. We'll reload it in case we do have a brand new track there. and they are predicting for 150-mile-per-hour landfall there, as you can see, right on the Louisiana-Texas border, staying as a tropical storm all the way into Arkansas, weakening into a tropical depression all the way into, I think that's like Kentucky, and it's staying as a subtropical depression and strengthening as a tropical subtropical storm uh, as it moves over Canada there. This, again, will be catastrophic. Here's the hurricane warnings. Hurricane warning spreading all the way into Texas, mid-Louisiana. Tropical storm warning spreading all the way near Mississippi. Cloud covers, believe it or not, cloud cover is spreading all the way into parts of Florida, Yucatan Peninsula. It is taking the entire Gulf of Mexico, guys. This is just really a bad storm here. It's the worst imaginable situation. I remember we were saying it'll probably be a Cat 1, Cat 2. Never would I imagine this would make landfall as a Category 4. We would say, oh, this is going to be a major hurricane, just kind of to joke around. But never would I have expected this to strengthen like it did. It has strengthened, I think, 70 mile per hour in the last 24 hours. That is absolutely insane. But as we continue here, look at the models. 24 hours. In 24 hours, it'll be in Louisiana. 48 hours up near Tennessee. And then 72 hours, it'll be back out to sea. So it'll be moving fairly slow. Intensity guidance. Again, none of the models show Category 5, but this is why. This is why it's not going to intensify in the next 12 hours. If it's going to intensify to Category 5, it's going to do this, and in the next 12 hours, it'll all be down to back to Cat 3, So that's why the models are not showing it. Even if a model thinks it's Cat 5, it's not going to show it because in the next 12 hours, it will be down to Cat 3, Cat 2 status. So, that is what. A couple models actually keep it to Category 2 and 3 status. Not too sure why. But overall, in the next 12 hours, it's going to weaken significantly. Okay, next. Here's the latest recon mission system. I'm going a little bit fast. I'm just really out of time. It is currently entering this system. You're already finding tropical force winds here, and as you can see, it is pretty far out here. It is pretty far out. Okay, so here's the latest recon mission before the other one. It has just finished, and look what they found. They found highs in 100. They found up to, I believe, 137. So they found that 145. You can see the eye now. Latest pass they found 947. It's probably down to 945 at least now, and I mean, it's just crazy that we have this situation on our hand here. I'm sorry if I'm doing a little bit of a fast video, by the way. It is just, I could not have imagined that this would have actually happened. But here's the latest satellite data, and you can see those warnings. I believe we had confirmation of a tornado there somewhere, and those warnings. But you can see all those warnings there, and you can see the eye there with the northern eye wall seeming to be the most consolidated. It does seem to be moving, north-northwest at the moment, if not due north slightly, and that is also concerning because that would mean landfall in Louisiana seems to be getting more likely. This is some of those outer bands here, as you can see, and this is what has already given 6,000 power outages, believe it or not, which is absolutely mental. Now, I remember yesterday in my video I was talking about we're going to be getting wind shear here, we're going to be getting dry air, it could weaken it down. Well, look what we have now. We have no wind shear at all. This entire area was supposed to be in 40 knots of wind shear. Instead of that, we have 50 knots of wind shear. Okay, that is concerning because now we're not going to be getting too much westerly shear, which is going to be weakening the system. No, we're not getting this anymore. We're getting slight 10 knot shear, but that's really it, and that's not going to kill the system. We would need we would need at least 40 knots to weaken slightly this, and at this point, it is not going to weaken. It is going to at least stay at this intensity, if not strengthen a whole lot further. Remember the dry air I was talking about? Dry air is gone. The only dry air we can see is in the air right there. Look at that. Look at that. It's just in the eye right there. So once again, all those conditions we thought we were getting, they're just not there anymore. And if we go back here, you could see that dry air I was talking about, and that is gone, right? that is gone. Look, as we went on, that dryer has dissipated and is no longer there. The only dryer really is in the eye here, which it's expectable. It's an eye. It's pretty much full of dry air. So also something that's really worrying, and in my opinion, it has time to become a Category 5 hurricane. It has time to strengthen up to 155, 160. I mean, my highest peak right now would be 160, but I would not even rule out the possibility of 165. So we could really be seeing an intense system with this, but I'm going to be wrapping up this video. But this could be absolutely tremendously insane. I'm going to have a running live stream tonight, hopefully, if everything goes to plan. But just take everything you need, and you would have to have evacuated, but now it is not too late, unfortunately. And also, here's that area of interest that could become Nana here, coming up the coast of Africa. So also something we're gonna have to monitor. But this is gonna be the National Hurricane Center said unsurvivable hurricane. So